The holidays are here, so that means it's time for this year's gift guides. We've got 2 videos just like last year. Today we're talking about some stocking stuffers. Next week we've got some more traditional gifts. It's always tough to find that balance of gifts that they'll actually want, gifts that they'll actually use, and gifts that aren't too boring. Hopefully this guide helps all of you, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, hopefully you find some fun stuff for yourself like I have. Let's get into it. First up for the travelers and the backpackers, these are toothpaste tabs. If you're not actually familiar with these, they kind of look like mints, but they are essentially little pieces of dehydrated toothpaste. Makes it very easy for travel if you're trying to go with just a carry-on and you're trying to avoid liquids and dealing with all of that mess with TSA. They're also really good for hiking and backpacking, so you can brush your teeth and keep good oral hygiene while you're on the trail without having to carry that excess weight of water. It takes a little bit of time to get used to them, but once you do, it's tough to go back. I really wouldn't go on a trip without these anymore. I've used a number of different brands over the years. Recently, I've been trying this one from a brand called Duo. They have something I haven't really seen before. They have sort of infused toothpaste options. They have just their original mint flavor, but they have one for sleep that includes melatonin and L-theanine. They have an energy one that actually has caffeine in it. They have an immunity one with vitamin D. I thought that was pretty fun and unique. Check them out. Get them for those one-bag travelers and backpackers in your family. Next up will be no surprise for the regular viewers around here. This is the Nanobag Ultralight Shopping Bag. This is a 19-liter grocery bag that weighs less than an ounce and can fit into your pocket. Incredibly useful and handy to have. You know, it's really easy to throw into a sling bag or obviously pocket, like I said, but it works really well, especially if you know someone that does a lot of on-foot commuting and errands. You know, I live in the city. I do all of my grocery shopping out and about on foot, so I have to carry all of that stuff home. So I usually have at least one of these with me basically at all times. It has a load rating of 66 pounds. This will carry way more than you can reasonably carry with your own hands. They just recently started selling them on Amazon too, which is great. They're super cheap, super useful. They've held up well for me over the years. Socks have been having a bit of a comeback, but they are still one of the most underrated gifts you can give for the difficult to buy for, and quality socks at least. Getting a really nice pair of socks has a genuine impact on your day-to-day life, and I think that encapsulates what the gifting goals are for someone like me. You want something that's useful but a higher quality splurge that you might not actually make for yourself. I think that makes for a perfect gift, and there are some really excellent sock options that go along with that. I couldn't really narrow it down to one, so I picked out a few of my favorites that I really like and use. I'll kind of go through and explain which options are for which type of person. First up, the obvious and most popular, these are Darn Tough socks. They are essentially indestructible. They have a lifetime warranty, so if they do wear out, you can send them in, get them replaced. You can actually take them to REI and stuff too, so there are some really easy replacement options if you need to. I've personally never needed to. I've been using them regularly for years. I've put thousands of miles on these on the trail for backpacking and hiking, and they're still in basically pristine condition. For the boot person in your life, I've been using these for about a year now and really like them. The brand is called Worn, and these are their enhanced boot socks. So far, they have held up just as well as my Darn Toughs. You know, time will tell. As I've been testing out socks, you know, you need multiple years to really get a good gauge of these sort of things, but these have held up really well, and they're a little bit softer and more comfortable in comparison. For the trendier person in your life or someone that goes between sneakers and boots, American Trench is a great way to go. This is their Merino retro stripe crew socks. I really love these because they are tall enough to still wear with boots, but they are really great with sneakers, and they're a little bit trendier with the current styles and everything right now. Lastly, I've got a new brand I don't have a lot of long-term experience with, but initial impressions are incredible. The brand is called Chup or Choop. I'm not entirely sure. Again, it's a wool blend sock. These are actually made in Japan. They have a ton of really fun colors. It's all hand-dyed yarn. Just really excellent craftsmanship as you'd expect from any, you know, Japanese made stuff these days. Really cool designs, especially if you want something a little bit more festive for the holidays. Super soft and comfortable, different size options as well. If you have giant foot gift receivers like myself, always a really nice touch there. But any of these I think would be great, just depending on their needs. You know, get someone a quality pair of socks and they will have them and use them for the years to come. Really quick, I want to give a huge thank you to MOFT for partnering with me on today's video and give you a couple of great Christmas gift recommendations from their lineup. First up is my longtime favorite, the Snapphone Tripod Wallet. It's a 3-in-1 design that works as a phone stand, tripod, and quick access wallet, all attached on the back of your phone via MagSafe. It's been a go-to for me for a while now, especially for travel. You get a ton of functionality in something that's about the size of a couple of credit cards. Having a mobile phone stand and tripod on the go is extremely convenient, makes it really easy for me to prop up my phone, watch videos on the plane or bedside at the hotel. It's also been really great for getting group photos or time-lapse shots. No one gets left out and you don't have to trust a stranger with your phone. It works as a vlogging tripod too if you want to grab a group selfie or just need longer arms to fit everything in frame. You can also store 2 cards, which is really great and usually all I need when I'm out and about. It even allows NFC payments so you don't have to pull your card out every time. Another one of my favorites from MOFT is the flip laptop phone mount. I get asked about it all the time when I have my laptop in my videos. It's an accessory that allows you to attach your phone via MagSafe and opens up a ton of really great possibilities. My favorite part of this is the convenience for the continuity camera feature on my MacBook. It makes things super convenient and allows for way better video quality compared to the built-in webcam without any setup hassle or trying to find the proper angle. It's also really nice as a secondary screen of sorts with your phone while you're working on your laptop. I can watch YouTube or listen to Spotify without taking up any excess screen real estate, which is precious when I'm away from home and away from my 42-inch gigantic monitor. Both options would be a really great gift for the traveler in your life or anyone that's on the go a lot and just needs a little bit more convenience with their tech. Be sure to check the links in the description down below. They're running some really great promotions right now for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Huge thanks again to MOFT for partnering with me on today's video. For the iPhone user, tech enthusiast in your life, I really can't recommend enough to grab them a MagSafe charger if they don't already have one. I've got 2 options I love that are both great but offer a little bit different things. First up is probably my longer term favorite. This is the Taurus Mini Mag. This is the thinnest, smallest MagSafe battery I've ever found for my phone. It's 5,000 milliamp hours, so it's a little bit smaller in capacity compared to some of the others in our other option here, but that's generally plenty if they're just going around and about, day to day and don't need something long-term for multiple charges. Alternatively, if you have someone that has the newer iPhone 16s and they haven't gotten one of these already, you should probably get them one. This is the Anker MagGo Slim. It is one of the few, Qi 2 wireless charging options out there for MagSafe batteries for the newer iPhones. That just means you can get a lot faster charging for your new phone compared to just about any other battery on the market. So if they're worried about capacity, this is going to have double at 10,000 milliamp hours, and if they have a newer phone, this is going to charge it a lot faster. It's a little bit more expensive as well, and it's one of the more expensive options on the market just because there aren't very many of these available. I think prices will go down a bit in time, but this is a very premium feeling product that checks pretty much all the boxes for me and is still pretty slim, especially considering the double capacity from the Taurus Mini Mag. Both are great. Check them out. Get one if you haven't heard of these before. They are amazing. For the home chef or the barbecue smoker enthusiast in your life, a great wireless thermometer is a really solid choice. I just got this one recently. I've been testing out. It is the ChefsTemp ProTemp Plus. So far, I've been loving it. It feels like the Cadillac of meat thermometers, if there is such a thing. So anyone that's super nerdy about this sort of stuff is probably going to love it. You have this bigger base here that has a built-in battery. It's USB-C rechargeable, but you have this fully wireless probe that can go into the meat for extended cooks. Make sure that everything's cooking properly. It's also really nice. You have app control here too, and you don't need to stay in proximity of the sensor itself. So if you want to put on something that's going to take, 8, 10, 12 hours, go to work or go out and run some errands, come back, you can do that and you can still monitor and keep an eye on things. Really pleasant experience overall. Make sure to check if they don't have one of those, fancier smart grills or anything that have some of this functionality built in, but if they don't, I think they're really going to love this, and I'm very much looking forward to cooking our turkey and using this for this year for the first time. It's going to be really great. This was one of my favorite items from the one-of-a-kind EDC gear series I do on the channel here. These are the Ombraz Armless Sunglasses. They are exactly as described, good quality sunglasses without any arms. And there are a number of benefits to that if you do any kind of outdoor adventuring activities, outdoor sports, things like that. I think these would be a no no-brainer for any of those types of people in your life. If you're like me, hiking in and out of wooded areas, you're constantly putting on and taking off your sunglasses. This just makes that much simpler. It's also something to be said that there are a lot less failure points here for glasses to break, which is excellent. Better durability, more comfortable, impossible to lose, and they do look a lot less dorky than you might think. These are the Leggero, but they have a handful of other models and shapes available. They're running some good sales for Black Friday stuff right now. I'll put that down in the comments along with any other sales for any of the other items we're talking about, but a real go-to for the outdoor adventure in your life. In a similar vein for hikers or runners, anything like that, pick them up some new insoles. They probably need them, and it feels like a splurge item for the person that uses them, but they're really not. It is so important for your overall health to have good foot support and have your feet taken care of. Anything between you and the ground is always so important. Shoes, mattresses, things like that. I burn through insoles pretty fast when I'm hiking. I'm sure a lot of folks in your life do the same. I've tried a handful over the years that I really like. My most recent trial, for the last year or so, I've been using from this brand called Sole. They have a handful of choices on their website. These are made of cork. It's actually recycled wine bottles, which is really cool. So if you have a more environmentally conscious person in your life, it might be cool to get these. It also makes for just a little bit different feel. They have some foam options as well. I've tried both. Both have been really solid for me. Really good quality insoles in general as a category though. An amazing gift for the person that uses them, that does any kind of running, hiking, any sort of outdoor activities on their feet. They probably need replacing, and they're probably procrastinating putting them off because it's kind of a boring purchase, but it's something they will really enjoy and appreciate. The Sole brand is my current favorite. I tend to hike in barefoot shoes, so they actually have wide, barefoot shoe shaped insoles, but I've also had a lot of really good luck with the Superfeet Green. I'll put a link to those as well. This is probably my favorite right now, but both are really great, and I think they'd be really happy with either of them. Another option for the traveler in your life that'll be no surprise to the regular viewers. These are arcade belts. They're completely metal-free, TSA-friendly stretch belts that you can wear when you're traveling, and you don't need to take them off in airport security. Really awesome, and I have had these in years past, and I try not to do repeats in this series just so you can go back and watch the old ones for additional options, but I really like Arcade every year does a donation of $5 for every belt sold to Big City Mountaineers. Helps kids get out in the wilderness more, which is excellent and something that is needed more and more with each passing year. So with that in mind, I broke my exception to the rule. They're giving back, and I really love to see it. But aside from that, it is one of my favorite items and probably the most giftable on this entire list. If you do any kind of traveling, it's a no-brainer, but even if you're not a traveler, they're just really comfortable and nice. They're machine washable, so you can actually keep them on your pants when you're doing laundry. Super convenient. They have a ton of fun and cool designs available. They have the standard length here is up to 40 inches, but they do have long versions available as well. They go up to 50 inches if you need the extra length. Really cool. I've been using them for like 4 or 5 years now and absolutely love it. For the engineering nerd in your life that might not have a full toolbox, I can't recommend MetMo enough. Specifically their pocket driver here, I think is the perfect ideal gift item, but they do have one other option I'll get to in a second. MetMo is based in the UK. They take a lot of older, cool, unique design patents for tools and kind of rework them with absolutely beautiful CNC work and engineering. The pocket driver here is a ratcheting driver or screwdriver. You can put any kind of 1/4-inch bits in here and just use it like any other driver. The ratcheting mechanism is super satisfying. They actually have it exposed here so you can see it working, but it's just really convenient when you're putting stuff together as well. The way that they designed this handle as well, you have some alternate grips so you can get really good leverage on things. It is just extremely well built and extremely cool. Even if they already have a screwdriver, they probably don't have one like this. Alternatively, and I think this is probably the way to go for most of us, but if they want a wrench as an alternative, this is also great. It's called the MetMo Grip. It's essentially a wrench meets a fidget toy. You get this really satisfying sliding when you're using it. It locks into position even though it can move freely and easily. It kind of breaks my brain a little bit, but super cool, super unique. It was based on old, early 1900s design patent, if I remember correctly. Both of these would be really cool though. They have a little nice tool pouch to go with the pocket driver. My vote would definitely be the pocket driver if you're getting one out of the two, but Anyone that appreciates really cool design, CNC stuff, engineering nerds, these are their people. Next up, these are Vala Alta handkerchiefs. These are something that you don't realize you need until you do. Once you get used to carrying a handkerchief, you will never go back. I've been carrying them for over a decade now, I believe, or right around a decade, and it is amazing. As someone that suffers from allergies, it's really great to have something to blow your nose on that's not, crappy tissues. It's wasteful, it makes your nose red and itchy and terrible. These are made out of Irish linen instead of the more typical cotton. They dry a little bit quicker, they absorb a little bit more, they're antimicrobial. I switched over to these, I think 3-ish years ago when I found their website. No one else is really doing it like them. They just recently came out with a larger size too, which is something I've been wanting. I think once you get used to it and once you depend on it in your pocket, you literally can't go back. I would highly recommend these for anyone, but I think they would make a nice gift because, again, they're probably not going to splurge on something like that. And that, again, rounds out my whole thesis with these gift guide videos every year. You want to get something that's useful, that they're actually going to use, but isn't so incredibly boring, like restocking, paper towels for the kitchen because they're running low. Finding those high quality items that you're pretty confident they're actually going to like is a real challenge. Hopefully the stocking stuffer guide this week helped you out. I've got more coming next Friday, so stay tuned for that. I think I mentioned it earlier, but make sure and go back and watch the previous year's gift guides as well. If you need more ideas, there are a ton of good options in there from previous years, and I try to avoid repeats as much as possible. But between those and this, hopefully that helps. You can also ask down in the comments between myself and the regular gang around here that talks. I'm sure we can help you out if you're looking for some more ideas, something a little bit more specific and specialized. I try and find things that will be, universally loved for a certain type of person, but happy to narrow it down and help you out down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next week.